ink?
We do basement waterproofing. So like if you get a wet basement, your walls leak or whatever, we'll seal that shit right up.
Nice. That's awesome. How long you been doing that, dude?
My whole life. Yeah, I like did it for my dad and my grandpa growing up, and then I moved to Erie because I'm from Pittsburgh, and then
Hmm.
started my own business, named it after my sons, and just killing it, man.
That's sick, dude. Son, so how many kids do you have?
So I have four sons. One's passed away. I have Aiden, Abel, and Arthur are here, and then Alvin was born last September, and that's when I was actually supposed to fight Danny Maldonado for you guys before, and the fight fell through because of that. Um, and
Damn.
But now it's back on. So
Nice. Well, super sorry to hear that, man. I can't even imagine the
yeah, man.
emotions that go into that, and I'm sure that are going into this fight as well, coming up now because of that. That's crazy, man. But how do you feel like that's helped shape you, kind of focus you? I'm sure there are some things about it that are going to help you grow as a person and as a
Yeah,
fighter.
yeah. So like, some of the best things it's done for me just in general in life, and then I'll get into what it's done for me in fighting, is it's easy to worry about the small things, like somebody's talking crap on you, uh, little things, and they just seem so big. And when I went through this with my wife, and not to be too detailed, but I got to tell you, like my son passed in my arms. I sang him uh, into the afterlife, and it was as intense as something could be. It made everything else seem so small and so minuscule. It just doesn't matter.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
then and you got to look for the good in things because we needed that to pull us out of where we were at mentally. And then as far as the fight thing, nerves used to be a really big issue for me. I used to look at my opponent's Facebook. I used to like worry about, hey, are they saying something bad about me, or what are people visualizing this fight to be, or how do they see me? And like I don't care about that. I just like I want to fight because I really enjoy the fight, and um, it's really helped me get past a lot of that. I'm just in it for the fun, man, and for the good things in life.
I mean, that's ultimately going to be beneficial to you, I would imagine, in both your life and your fighting career. Just having that kind of centering. When you go through something like that, it's something that people can't understand. I'm sure I can't understand it without having experienced it. It's terrible and it's a tragedy that you would never wish on anybody.
Right.
On the flip side, like you said, there are some lessons to be learned from that are just going to put you at a different level than a lot of people out there. So,
Yeah, I felt like if I couldn't take something from that situation positive, which is maybe sounds crazy to say, then I'd
mhm,
be doing my son Alvin a I wouldn't be doing him right,
right.
because what would he want for his dad? What would he want for his family? And I'm lucky to have my other boys, Aiden,
Mhm,
Abel, and Arthur, to kind of pull me through that. And you got to be there for them. And then like, being in the mix here, like the guys in the gym, they're a family, man. So
mhm.
everybody was there at the funeral. Everybody's there. I took some time off, and everyone reached out, and they're like, "When you're ready, come back." And then I did, and now I'm back.
That's at 30 years old, man, that's a big family that you have there. What were you always looking to start a big family? Did it just kind of happen?
So I am one of 10 siblings, if you count my three step siblings. And I love that. My brother David trained at Stouts. Now he trains at Indigo with like Danilo and those guys. He's a beast. And the interactions with my brothers growing up are like my best memories. So
Mhm.
I I didn't plan on having a big family, but I met my wife Avery, and we didn't plan any of our kids. But after the first one, I was like, bro, you need a brother. And, so I was like, we weren't stopping it. We know what happens. It's not in the water. So,
Yeah,
I'd have 100 kids if she'd let me. But, we're done now. After this last, every pregnancy's been harder. And then after this last, we don't want to put ourselves through that, or, our kids through that. So,
sure.
I love having a big family, man. It's the most important thing to me.
Ah, that's great, man, and it's super reasonable. I mean, that's like you said, you got a great big family right now. It sounds like you're really centered. I mean, you kind of mentioned it, kind of refer to that Danny Maldonado fight, but it hasn't been hasn't really been said that yet. So let's make the big announcement, man. What fight you got coming up? I'll let you do the
Hey
honors.
man, so I'm fighting July 9th for 247. I'm fighting Danny Maldonado, Danny the Flash Maldonado. It's a tough kid, and we've tried to get it on before. For some reason, he's wanted to fight me for a long time. And we tried to make it happen once before, and because of what happened with my family, it didn't come to fruition. And now we're about to get it on, brother. So I'm really excited to fight for 247. Being from Pittsburgh originally, I grew up in Dormont. I mean, it's huge. The last time I fought in Pittsburgh, I won the Pinnacle Flyweight belt. Just whooped this dude, Luke Chokin, and I'm just feeding off the energy. I walk out with my terrible towel and I just go off, and people go off, and I just feel that, and I'm just like, bro, let's get it on. It's awesome. So,
Dude, you're getting me pumped up just talking about it
yeah,
right now.
man,
I
I'm
mean
so happy. I'm so excited.
that show, I mean, we're super stoked about this show. Anybody who listens to the podcast knows that we've been high on this July 9th show for a long time, for good reason, man. It's our first show at the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows, so we're super excited to be working with them and getting some shows in there. We have a lot of new sponsors on board. We got the United States Marines, the Allegheny Marines are on board, RES agencies are on board, Intoxicating Tattoos are on board. So we've been looking for a new tattoo sponsorship for a while, because we know tattoos and MMA go hand in hand, man. Like that. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I'm all covered up, but me too, dude.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. Like we've been wanting that for a while. So thank you to Intoxicating Tattoos. Let me see if I can pull up their Instagram. There you go. One of our new sponsors. So maybe you get a win July 9th, Nolan, and then you go get a new tattoo afterwards
yeah,
too. You
man.
never
I'm
know.
always looking for a new spot, dude. I love. We got some really cool tattoo artists in our gym. Shout out to Wayward Tattoos in Erie. My boy Johnny Matters, who trains with us. He's a beast. He's known all over Pennsylvania. Like you want to get in with him. It takes a while, but I love how different each artist is, each shop is, and I'd love to check them out. I know if they're affiliated with 247, they got to be fire.
Nice. I appreciate that, dude. Here's their Instagram actually for people
Oh
out
man,
there.
sick.
Dude, I could look at tattoos just all
Oh,
day.
go
And
back up. Go back up. Dude, I love that one on the top left.
oh, this guy,
Oh,
yeah,
that's sick, man.
that is crazy. The
That
amount of
takes some
color,
art, man.
the color packed in there, and like anybody who has tattoos knows that like to get real vibrant colors is super tough. Like you'll see ones like this on Instagram and you'll think, "Oh, that must just be a thing they can do." But this takes like several passes going
Oh
over it and
yeah.
over it and over it.
And you're like,
Yeah.
dude, you have to go over that spot again? Like
It's
we're gonna
so
like
it's
getting
so
it done.
sore. I know. Like it's all sore, and then they just keep hammering it and hammering it and hammering
Man,
it. But that's how you get those really vibrant colors, man. It looks
yeah,
like
bro.
they
Oh,
do.
that one's sick. Yeah, look at
Yeah,
that, man. It just pops. Some of them, I
that
mean, they're
looks
all
sick.
great, but I love color tattoos.
Yeah, so do I. Especially, I'm super pasty ginger, so the colors pop on my
Yeah,
skin
I
really
mean,
nicely. So I'm all
that's
about
awesome.
that. Yeah.
I'd
Well,
say so far the most meaningful tattoo I have is, as I told you, we've had problems with the pregnancies ongoing in life here, and my son Arthur, my youngest son, he's 3 now. We almost lost him in the same way that we did lose Alvin, and so I got this for King Arthur, and
that's awesome.
yeah, man, and it was like real emotional. And I'm gonna get one for Alvin. I'm gonna get something back here, probably Roman numerals of his birth and death date. And it's crazy how tattoos can be to somebody else just like such like an ugly thing, and to you it can be so important and such a
hmm
special, sweet thing. So it's awesome.
There's obviously a ton of tattoos in fighting, and I always like hearing fighters' stories behind their tattoos, because especially in fighting, I think you obviously understand this, but just for people listening, like a lot of people think that fighters are just these barbarians that get in a cage and fight. But man, you guys are so deep and so layered, and sometimes you're like tattoos are a great way for you to express your
It's
individual
funny.
personalities.
It's funny when people think that, because like bro, I'm a T-ball coach. I have 3 little kids. I watch Paw Patrol with my kids. Like I don't go out and drink. I don't do anything. I'm like working out like hard all the time. I try to employ people and be fair to people in the workspace. And then it's like, that song Godzilla by Eminem, and they say like,
hmm
at night I turn into a monster. And that's how I feel, dude. Like I kiss my kids goodnight. I go to the gym and it's wartime, and it's time.
hmm
It's me and the guys, and we're there, and it's blood, sweat, and tears, bro. And I'm not thinking about anything but violence, and that's it. And I want to hurt people. And you know, and then when I get into a fight camp, it gets much more intense. And then the night of the fight, I almost don't even know who I am anymore. I want to kill someone. So, and I think you have to be able to turn that switch on and turn it back off, right? Because if I am every day who I am when I'm fighting, I wouldn't be able to function in society, dude. But, yeah. So like we're modern day gladiators.
It's so true, man. And like, how does that work? Because I've talked to fighters about that exact thing before, kind of that idea of flipping the switch. For a guy like you, who's obviously, super kind, super funny out of camp and just chilling right now talking, how do you turn into that monster? Like, what's that process look like for you?
Well, for me, when you put in the work, the confidence comes along with that. And if I put in enough work, my confidence gets so high. I got to keep checking myself, and once fight night comes around, like I've missed so much time with my kids. They cry when I go to practice. They don't want me to, they don't want me to go. They tell me, I don't want you to go. And I always think to myself, like, somebody's going to pay for this shit. And it's going to be the guy that I'm walking into that cage with. And so for me, that's where I draw a lot of my powers from, is my family. And I think everybody's probably different. I have zero hate for the guy I'm fighting. I just think, hey, you took me away from my family, and you're going to pay for it. And nothing's more violent inducing than that for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate motivation for so many guys. A lot of people, of course, they want the belt. They want to go on and achieve great things in fighting. But when you're fighting for something like family and it's that personal to you, man, you're right. That kind of energy is definitely different for guys. We've seen it time and again in MMA. And then especially a situation like you where you're clearly a hardcore family guy and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's awesome. And I cannot wait for this fight. I've had a long layoff. I'm coming off 2 losses. I won 7 in a row before that. And the only thing I can think about is the 2 losses. And it sits sour in my stomach, man. I'm not a good loser. My dad always told me, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser.
Yeah,
So,
right.
We're coming out to avenge those losses. And honestly, I'm just going to, I hate to be disrespectful, but I'm going to have my way with this dude, and leave no doubt, get back to that steamrolling train where I was just killing everyone. And I'm going to start with Danny Maldonado.
Well, like we said, we're crazy excited for this matchup specifically and for the event, man. Being at the Hollywood Casino, I think, is going to be huge for us. We're crazy excited to work with them. And for you, too, like you said, growing up in Dormont, now up in Erie, I mean, obviously, you still have a lot of fans back home that I'm sure have been wanting to see you fight here locally back at home. So Washington, pretty close, close enough to bring them out. Pack up that casino, man. What's it feel like for you making a homecoming of sorts with this fight?
So there's two. It's a double-edged sword. Like one side, I'm just so thankful to be there. I just feel the love, every time. Like I just went to the Pirates game, and it's like, man, I feel home when I pull around that turn from 79. I see the city. I'm like, we're home, baby, And I go to Fury's and get some pizza, and hang out with the fam, and see my brothers, and but when I won that amateur title for Pinnacle, as I was walking out of the cage, I don't want to bring up any names, but a pretty well-known guy said, that belt belongs in Pittsburgh. And he said that to me like he don't know I'm from Pittsburgh as much as any of these dudes. And so that really pissed me off. So for the lovers, I want to bring them that love. And for the haters, I want to shove it right back in their face, man. So I can't wait to fight in Pittsburgh. That's where I was born and raised, I can't wait to come home.
Man, you say coming off 79 and seeing the city, there's no, I've traveled a good bit around the United States. There's no city that has an entrance like Pittsburgh like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so beautiful. San Francisco's come the closest, I think, when I was there. Yeah. It definitely gave me a little tingles, but I think Pittsburgh's entrance is unbelievable. Like, how can you not bust out of the Fort Pitt tunnel and just be feeling like some kind of way out of there?
When you come through there, you see people just holding their phones up and stuff, and it's like these people didn't just That's not even their first time. People live there their whole life, are mesmerized by it every day when they come through there. It's a invigorating feeling. It's like, hey, I feel the whole city. This is where I'm from, 412. You know, I got it tatted all over me, bro. I don't know if you can see this. I got 41. Should I do it this way? I got 412, the Three Rivers, the skyline, the Steelers stars.
That is gorgeous.
And it's in the Keystone State, and that's coming at this New York kid's head. Bang, baby. Welcome to Pittsburgh, mother. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how we get down, dude.
That's amazing. It reminds me of that scene in was it Meet the Parents when like they smashed a dude with the volleyball and it like imprinted the volleyball on his forehead, like the name, like that's it. Like you can give dudes like an imprint of the skyline with your fist there.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome. You know what I mean?
Dude,
and I just can't wait.
I love it, man. Look, Ryan's being a hater already. Gave me a little tingles. Yeah, dude, like you ever get like goosebumps from something awesome? Like apparently Ryan's never experienced anything awesome, which doesn't surprise me with him. But
I get I feel the energy of this fight more than any I've had so far. It's special to me. I know, you know, for me it's like I flew out and fought in Alabama. I fought in a lot of places. And it's always cool. But it's never more special than this to me, right? It's like this is Pittsburgh's the most important place on earth to me. You know, if the world's gonna end, that's where I'm going. You know, and I'm hang out there and eat pizza. And it's I'm excited, man.
Dude, you mentioned pizza a couple times, so I feel like I gotta ask you to rank like the top 3 Pittsburgh pizzas.
Oh, it's easy for me, man. Campides on Potomac.
Nice.
Fiori's and Meadows down on
nice.
You know? Yeah, so and
I
get the extra cheese on top and eat it like
there you go. Dude, how do you make flyweight? Like out here just extra cheese.
Not eating pizza, bro. So
that's funny.
So I walk around at like 140, low 140s when I'm in shape. And honestly, like the weight cut's never really a factor in my mind. I just think about I eat healthy, I train hard. I cut out carbs really, and I just eat a lot of meat. And like I like to cook on the cast iron. I make like lamb, stuff like that. I intermittent fast. And by the time it's fight time, I'm like low 130 something, and it's just a little bit of water weight. It's just like a light workout, and I'm on weight. It's never been a problem. Never missed by an ounce.
I've never known, like I know I've done the keto diet in the past and Ryan's done the keto diet in the past and my dad's done it. Like anybody who's ever cut out carbs and increased meat and fat, like the way you lose weight is crazy. It's not a secret. Like everybody's like, how can I lose weight? It's like literally stop eating carbs and processed sugar. Like it works.
Sugar, yeah, dude, it's huge, bro. Like the sugars is huge. And I love pop. I just love it. But I don't drink it. I drink Zevia.
Yeah, that stuff's good. Yeah, that stuff's good.
Bro. At first, it was kind of weird, and now it's like I tasted a pop like not too long ago, and it's like, ugh. I was like, it was like syrupy. Like,
syrup, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, you keep talking about Ryan. Obviously, he's the man here. You know, I was supposed to fight for them a couple times, and it fell through once for this, and then just we had talked, and it didn't ever come to fruition, but. The amount of respect I got for that guy, man, and what he's done with 247 is like, man, through the roof, bro, through the roof.
Thanks,
and the way that they were willing to work with me again after not being able to fight for them this last. Obviously, that was an extreme circumstance, but even still, I'm sure it wasn't easy to scramble for them. And every show they put on is fire, dynamite, and I'm excited to be part of one. I've wanted to so badly, I want to be thought of when the people are talking about their promotion, be like, oh yeah, like Nolan Stahl fought for them. It's like just like everyone talks about Kama. It's like I want to be in the conversation, bro.
That's what we love to do for fighters too, man. That's something that we definitely hammer home. Like we're trying to grow the combat sports scene in Western PA. We'll share stuff from other promotions. If fighters are fighting for another organization, like we'll be there. We'll be there supporting the scene. Doesn't have to be this cutthroat thing that so many people think where it's either I win or nobody wins. Like we think everybody can win. And we genuinely believe there's enough in Pittsburgh. The talent level has been here forever.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
we've always just needed that scene to kind of cultivate it. So that's exactly what we're trying to do.
So
Man.
I started training when I moved up here, I think about 7 years ago. And, so I'm kind of like known as the eerie guy to a lot of people because they don't, unless they knew me in my personal life. But when I was like 19, I went down to, it was the Pittsburgh Fight Club, I think it was called at the time. It was there was Mark Cherico, Cody Garbrandt, Adam Milstead, and all these guys. And I come from a judo background, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm really good at judo. I'm about to go down there and like show these dudes what's up, bro. I got my ass beat for like I got my ass beat, and then I quit. I quit and was just like young and partying kind of, and then I ended up moving up and getting back into it. I wish I would have stuck with it way earlier, but I mean, even back then, think of all those all the guys I said, like every one of those guys has been in the freaking UFC. It's like, it's been there. It's ingrained, and just a city full of killers, bro.
Yeah, dude. Fight Club back in the day was a special breed. That's kind of what we always talk about in terms of like what we need to get back to. Like it's pretty clear that something was there and then it disappeared, and now we're bringing it back. So that's the level that we want to get to, and then eventually, surpass. So the talent, like I said, the talent's been here, man. Some of the amateurs coming up nowadays, it's absolutely ridiculous, the talent level of these guys. Like you see them get in there and they literally look like pros. Like
no doubt.
From 2012, 13, like pros from that era, like some of these amateurs would whoop them, dude.
Yeah, dude. MMA is crazy how it evolves, right? Like I'll watch like a super old UFC, and I'm like, these guys kind of suck. Like not all, like the legends don't, but a lot of them, like they don't even have jits. They don't like. They're just like one dimensional. It's like a bar fight kind of. And now it's like the worst guy on the UFC roster is a murderer, and a well-rounded fighter, and you can't be anything but that if you want to fight in today's day and age. You just can't.
That's exactly. I was just telling one of my friends, he was asking me, he's kind of like followed the UFC back in the day, like around the UFC 100, 200 days when it was just at its absolute peak, but hasn't really watched since then. And he was asking me like, what do you think about the fighters nowadays? Is there anybody coming up? And I was like, dude, the talent level now, like the number 15 ranked guy in any given division would have been the champ in 2009. Like they're all better now. Everybody is just better.
People will be like, who's your favorite fighter? I'm like, sorry, that's the office phone. My secretary will get it. He's like, they'll be like, who's your favorite fighter? I'm like, I can't even answer that, dude. It's like, who's my favorite striker, or maybe who's my favorite ground guy? But it's like, these guys are all so good. They're to the point where it's like, they can beat each other. It just depends on who's, that night, who's the better guy. It's amazing. And I'm really excited. I want to speak a little bit about my gym too. 3 Elements, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, man, and MMA. And these guys are my family, my coach, Tom, passed away. He was my ride or die. Him and his brother, Brad, owned the gym. And Tom was the wrestling and striking coach. And he passed away of a brain aneurysm. And before that, he was there for me with my son Arthur when I almost lost him, and they kind of just really rallied around me, and I always knew we were close, but it's like it's so much more than a gym to me. They're my family, like just the same as my dad's my family and my kids are my family. They're my family. And Brad is our black belt. He's a monster. And it's such a great group of guys in there who are just there to better each other. There's no egos. That's Tom and Brad right there. So Tom's on the right, Brad's on the left, and rest in peace, Tom, man. Tom Gardner, just one of the coolest, funniest dudes you could ever meet, dude. He liked to call me Brogina. What's up, Brogina? And
that's beautiful.
Dude, they're just awesome, man. And I'm sure everyone feels like that about their gym, but I can't say it enough that I just feel so strongly about these guys, Who you have there is Brad. He's currently our black belt. Tom passed away. Jeremy, he hasn't turned pro yet. He's a little older, but I mean, as good as a lot of the pros out there, just a tough guy, a great coach. And Josh Cummings, he just got his brown belt, and he should be a freaking black belt. That kid is like, you talk about determination, and that's it. And these guys there, they're wearing my shirts at one of my fights. That's my pro debut. They're wearing
Nice.
the Scooter shirt. Like people call me Scooter. And that was my pro debut where I whooped the dude, Josh Oxendine.
Dude, yeah.
Pressed his leg because
Dude,
I took it away.
Josh is really good too, man. That's something I wanted to bring up is that he's had an extremely successful pro career since that time. That win has aged very well for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he missed weight similar to everyone who fights me. And I just took it to him. You know, that's one of those ones where I just like, you're not coming in here and beat me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he won the first round, and then I dominated the rest of the fight.
Nice. Yeah, that was a huge way to kick off your pro career, man. Like you said, lost 2 in a row since then, but anybody who knows like you said, sometimes it comes down to just whose night it is, and your body of work, your amateur career was phenomenal. You look at that, like I don't think anybody who's paying attention puts too much stock in those 2 straight losses, but it does add an element of maybe pressure for you, maybe extra motivation. Like how's it feeling for you knowing that, losing 3 straight is definitely not the way you want to go?
Yeah. So just like what you said, losing 3 straight is not the way you want to go. In my amateur career, I got off to a rough start. And a lot of people just see what I did positively. But at the beginning, this kid, Skylar Monchek, he hasn't fought since then. He trains up in Uniontown with Ethan Hayes and them guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wrestle effed me the whole time, man. And that was humiliating. And then I knocked out the second kid I fought. And the third fight, I got rear naked choked. And so here I am with a backwards record thinking this sucks. And then I just went on a tear, man. And I just wasn't willing to give up. And that's kind of how I feel now. You know, I won 1, I lost 2. I've been there before. No stranger to it. Familiar territory. I've always been the underdog in my life. I'm a short Jewish kid. You know, it's like I wasn't given many great attributes except the gift of gab and the heart of a lion. And I think that I'm just sizzling, ready to pop. And people are, I'm 30. I don't have a ton of time. I'm not old, but I don't have a ton of time. And I'm looking for finishes. I'm not looking for boring fights. I'm either going to go out on my shield or I'm going to kill him, and I don't plan on going out on my shield.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, dude, Scooter is a great nickname, but if you ever want to switch, Short Jewish Kid is a good second.
I thought about the Hebrew Hammer from the movie, but
yeah.
I want to get food for using there. You know what I mean?
That's great.
Funny how I got the name Scooter.
Yeah, lay it on.
People probably think like, so people probably meaning behind it, and it's the opposite. When I started, I was just a judo guy, and so like I wanted to clinch and throw you. And if you were a long striker, I was getting out of there. So I was just like staying on the outside, waiting to try to come in and clinch with you. And some of these longer guys who were good, they'd be like, "Get over here, Scooter!" Like trying to track me down and knock me out, dude. And so it just stuck. And now I'm a bad mother, and I'll strike with anyone. I love it. But it's funny to me that it came from such a funny place. The real nicknames are given to you.
Yes.
People call them so like, Billy the Savage, whatever. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody ever called you a savage, dude. Stop.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, dude, like that's like your mom told you that was a cool name.
Yeah, right. Dude, that's a really funny. Yeah, I love that story. And now, of course, with like butt scooting being so popular in jiu-jitsu, like maybe people will think that's what it's
going to mean. Think that, and I love jits, man. I love jits. Our gym is so high level. Like we have so many guys who compete in purple and brown and black belts, and it's like these guys are so high level. I mean, I try to explain to people who don't know a lot about fighting, like, okay, if you go up against a really good striker, if you're in shape and you're tough, you got a chance. Bang, you can hit them. If you hit them, they go out. If you go against a high-level grappler on the ground, you're dead in the water.
Mm-hmm. No chance.
You're not going to luckily choke them.
Yep. Yeah.
You're nothing. You're going to die unless they accept your surrender. But if they don't, you're dead. That's all a tap is a surrender.
The perfect. Yeah, I love that. I always tell people, like, in a street fight, you could wing a punch. Like, everybody can ball up their fist and wing a punch and, like, maybe catch a chin and knock a dude out. Like, everybody can, any adult male has the
Yeah.
power to do that. But
Bro, I've seen chicks knock dudes out. Like, it's just,
yeah.
you get
Oh,
clipped, you get
exactly.
clipped. Like, you know, it's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But like, you're never gonna luck into a Kimura on the streets. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And like, the other thing is like, when you go at these high level guys, you think you have them in something, and they just like calm their breathing down. They slow down, and before you know it, you're getting freaking choked. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm past that point now. You know, I consider myself one of the high level guys, but it's a brutal thing to get through. You know, the crucible of jujitsu,
Absolutely.
and I love every aspect of it. I love every aspect of fighting.
Well, we're about to see it, dude, July 9th at the casino, Hollywood Casino. And I'm sure a lot of people are very excited to get tickets for this. Obviously, they're not on sale yet, but we will give you guys some ticket information now. So tickets are officially going to go on sale June 7th on our website, 247fighting.com. But there will be a pre-sale available. I'm going to put the details up on the screen. If you text 247FC to that number, 833 747 0770, you'll get added to our SMS text list. So we'll be able to send you text messages about any offers, promotions, pre-sale, things like that. And we're going to do a pre-sale that starts June 2nd. So you'll get a 5-day head start on everybody else if you join our text list. And if you've come to our events in the past, you may have already opted into the text list and things like that, but doesn't hurt to check because this venue is a little smaller. There's a capacity of around 1,100 for this one, I believe. So we do expect this one to sell out, man. Like straight up, we think it's going to sell out, and we think it's going to sell out pretty fast. So if you guys are interested in coming to the show, I highly, highly, highly recommend that pre-sale. Take advantage of that pre-sale and get them while you can. So that's it. I know Nolan, like you've been really interested as well when tickets are going on sale. So I don't know, maybe that was news for you too. That June 7th is the official.
I'll tell you, if you're coming because you watch this podcast, make sure you give me credit when you buy tickets, man. The fighters appreciate that, or whatever fighter you're going to see. You know, I'm fortunate with my business. A lot of people are living off fighting, and so give them every dollar they can get. And you know, I just think it's awesome, the professionalism of Ryan and you and this promotion. It's like night and day compared to a lot of other promoters and matchmakers and things of that nature. It's just a great feeling all around, and I'm really, really excited to be part of it this time.
Oh, dude, we appreciate that so much. That's how we try to operate things, man. We want an extremely positive experience for every fighter and coach. You know, we make a really huge point. You'll see it in person too. Like, we want to spend some time with you, get to know you. Like, we're not here just to throw you in the cage and make a couple bucks off you. Like, that's not what we're doing. Like, we want to build relationships and like build something special, like we said. So
and
July,
I'll say one more thing for people thinking about buying tickets. There's not a bad seat in that place. I've been to that casino a lot, lost a lot of money at that casino. but I would say get those front row tickets, because you have a chance of catching Danny Maldonado's front teeth and mouthpiece. So make sure you get those front row tickets. You might get a free souvenir, man.
Nice. That's a perfect promo, dude. I love that. We got Jared Thomas, which, by the way, just met him in Johnstown at our last card at the after party at Woodside Bar and Grill. So nice to meet you finally, Jared, and been a huge supporter from day one on the podcast and everything. So awesome to have you, dude. The show is July 9th. So July 9th, it's a Saturday, Hollywood Casino at the Meadows in Washington, PA. That's the date. Brawl in the Burgh 12. Nolan Stahl versus Danny Maldonado. First announced bout. He's ready to go. I mean, I'm sure you guys can
today, bro. Leave me in the park.
Yeah, I know, dude. And we're not going to announce any more fights today, but let me just tell you, we're working on a card that hasn't been done in a while in Pittsburgh. Like, this is a huge pro card. We're leaning harder into pro fights than we have in a very long time, if not ever. So a pro card like this hasn't come to Pittsburgh in a long time. And of course, there are amateur fights as well. Don't get me wrong. Still going to be plenty of huge upcoming amateurs. And I personally, dude, I love amateur fights, as you could tell from the beginning when I was kind of hyping them up. But I love seeing these guys who are coming like straight out of wrestling or straight out of just jiu-jitsu competition and then coming into MMA. Like, I love watching the development of these amateurs. So I get just as hype about those, to be honest with you.
Some of my favorite fights are the amateur girl fights, because they just don't stop swinging. It's like crazy. It's
I
like
know.
it's just crazy. I'm like, dude, like, like you guys are literally trying to kill each other. It's amazing,
Th-
and
that
it's so fun.
that's yeah, when you were talking about like flipping the switch and becoming a monster for fight, like you said, the amateur females, they got that switch, dude. Like
No doubt, bro.
100%. Yeah.
No
Dylan,
doubt.
so shout out to our intern Dylan Cole. He's a Pitt student who's super interested in MMA and hit us up, and we got him doing some video editing and just helping with some random stuff. He said we're 100% using that last sound bite. Front row equals front teeth.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%, man. Bring your catcher's mitt because they'll be coming your way. And one more, another person I want to give some credit to here, and I think every fighter does this, and not just for brownie points, but the wives. When you have
Mm.
kids, man, it takes so much for your wife to, I work all day. I come home. She wants me to be home and help with the kids, and I'm like, hey, love you, kiss on the forehead. I'm leaving for 5 hours,
Mm.
and like I couldn't do it without her. What would I do without her? I wouldn't fight. I would have to like have somebody I don't know and pay them to watch my kids. And her name's Avery Stahl, and she has a lot of aspirations of modeling. She's super fire hot, and check out her Instagram. And she's awesome. She's an awesome girl, and I tell her she should be a ring girl. Because she's just so hot, and I get a lot of inspiration from her, man. 4 kids, and she just looks like an insane supermodel, and she earns it every step of the way. And I think that these fans need to realize that these ladies behind the scenes are really driving us fighters to be all that we can be. I mean, for real.
That's a great shout out, dude. I love that. And it makes sense now. I get like you were in such a good mood. You're so smiley. Every time we interact, you're in such a good mood. And now it all comes full circle. You got this supermodel wife. It's
Yeah,
a Nolan Stahl's a happy guy.
I always say, like, I'm lucky I was sitting on a bar stool when she met me because I was funny. And then after I had her hooked, I was like, jumped off the bar stool, dude. But I already had her hooked. So it's over from there.
You jump off the bar stool and get shorter. It's like never the
Yeah,
best
dude,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, no doubt. No
That's
doubt.
beautiful, dude. Man,
Yeah,
this has been an amazing podcast, dude. I appreciate the time and like we're crazy excited about this fight, man. I know we're going to be in touch leading up to the fight, but thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedule too. Like you
yeah, man.
said, all the kids, the family, the training, you got obviously a full-time job as well, business that you're running. So we appreciate you, man, and we really look forward to this show.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
For sure, dude. We'll catch you soon.
Absolutely. See you.